they planning to go there.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
I know it's early.
It is early.
Just like in Italy.
We want to get out of here. Hello from Italy, by the way.
What up?
Hello to Italy. Let me rephrase that. Hope everyone is having a great Saturday. I'm hoping that our Saturday will continue on its course. And
I think that was good. This Saturday was good. Nothing crazy.
I mean,
sure. I mean,
yes.
No crazy things happened today.
You're right. Yeah.
Like the cars went smooth and
yeah, I mean, we couldn't. I mean, yes. As far as
normally
days go,
when we leave about any trip or whatever, it's like
yes,
something happens. Like
correct.
The car is not doing what it's supposed to do, but this.
And it's funny because I feel like the car that we had to work on today was supposed to give us a hard time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because if you think about it, like we had to do one of those interfaces to add CarPlay from rvdfl.com, which I always get a bit worked up about. Luckily, we had
yourself.
Yeah, I told you when I was sweeping. And it burns, so I know I was sweeping quite aggressively
never
to make that time. Yeah, right. Luckily, we have Rich and we didn't even have to call Rich today.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think
everything just kind of went
smooth.
Yeah, so it was nice. And then even added a car because he lies like usual. You just have to do this and then you can go. You just have to do this and then you can go. All right, one more car and then you just leave at the same time you normally do. So
I just got one more car.
Yeah, one more car. But yeah, no, Strictly Amps. You guys have roast beef sandwiches in Florida? We do have roast beef. So if you're into roast beef, I would try a pub sub from Publix.
I never tried that.
You haven't had a pub sub?
No.
You're the only person on the planet that hasn't had a pub sub.
Oh wow!
I
like subs from Publix. They are great.
Well, then that's a pub sub.
Oh, that's what.
I
thought that was like a specific.
No, it's just a roast beef pub sub. Yes. So the girls get those all the time. I don't eat that stuff. So, hey guys, let's have a great show. So a bit of today we have 2 DSP talks because there's a feature that I love, and since both sponsors of the show are on tonight, Arc Audio and Mosconi Glidden, we're going to talk about the feature in both of their softwares, so that we can show you a variety of fun and excitement. How does that sound? That sounds cool, right?
Sounds great.
And of course, don't get your questions in. Fernando will start checking those off.
Yeah.
Pardon
me.
Roopier will do that. I want to know when my car is turned off, there's more bass and speakers. Wait, hold on. I want to know why when my car is turned off, there's more bass and speakers are louder, and when the car is running, I hear the opposite sound, and it takes a while to get the sound back to normal. Okay, I need to know like what kind of car it is and all that other fun stuff, like what equipment. Hey Marty, we were actually just talking about you.
Hey, Marty.
And vacation is
soon.
We can't talk about it yet because we're going to talk about it on Monday. However, we were on Instagram, and apparently Recoil has a new DSP, and someone was like, hey, when are you going to get your hands on the Recoil DSP? And I said, hey, I have to talk to Marty. I didn't even know they had a DSP. So there's a lot of things they have that we don't know about, but we'll get into that conversation again. Hold on. I need help with my Optim 8 install. Please turn off pop. How to fix 2020 F350 non-BO with blam, relax, running, full, active, ×6, high level turn on. Okay, that's weird. Definitely weird. Yeah. Especially because you're running all active. Typically, turn on pop could be a couple different things. Especially in a non-BO blam, there should be no turn on pop because, it's high level turn on. So, a couple things cause turn off pop. Like if a speaker is passive and it has a cap on the mid bass and the crossover network, sometimes you'll hear that. Not always, sometimes. but you're active, so that kind of rules that out because I'm
Mhm.
guessing there's no caps anywhere in there to discharge. High level turn on, so I'm guessing you're using DC offset, which means the radio isn't turning off with the key. So that doesn't make sense either because the car should turn off like you're turning it off, and then there should be like a 3-minute window before the car actually turns off. Now, if that's the case and 3 minutes later it's popping, there's really nothing you can do there.
Yeah.
There is typically in the Fords, there is RAP, which is retained accessory power, either in the fuse box that you can tap into that will, when you turn the car off and the doors are closed, the radio will stay on and everything will keep playing. And then RAP is designed to, when you open the door, shut everything off. In some of those vehicles, there is a RAP fuse that you can go and tap into and use that as remote turn on so that everything shuts off at the same time. When you open the door, it shuts off, which will eliminate the pop. But yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah. Good evening.
We are excited about vacation. There's Oscar. Feels like I just saw you too.
Hello.
Let me see this. 2024 Cadillac CT5 car. The car is not equipped with Bose audio. That's good. I want to add aftermarket amplifiers. Can I use audio control DM810 as a line output converter? Realistically, yeah, there shouldn't be a problem with that. You will need some load resistors for sure because all GMs need load resistors. So here's the thing. With the 2024 GM product, even though it's a Cadillac, it's still a General Motors product, you have to be very careful because some of them, this is a non-Bose, which I'm thinking is going to be pretty basic. But what you want to do is have a friend at the dealership that is willing to reset any engine codes that you might run into. Some of the SUVs, when you disconnect speakers from the radio, you get a code. So when connecting it, I would not turn it on at all until you're done with connecting everything. So tap into it, use the proper load resistors, connect it into your DSP, and then turn the car back on. Don't be turning the car on and off or doing anything like that. That could possibly trigger a, check engine light. Usually it's not like something's wrong with the car. It's just one of the fail safes that they built into the radio on some of the Cadillac stuff. So yay. It's joy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
wow.
Look at that.
What just happened?
I put up 2 thumbs. So I went like this. Yay. And it did it. So I don't know what did that. But anyways,
wow.
That's the joy of Cadillac. Before we get too deep into this, like I said, we're going to do some DSP talk. So let me pull this one up. Hey guys, gals, friends of all sizes. It is time for my favorite part of the show, which is DSP talk. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about a feature that is called delay adjust. Now, group adjust, all types of adjust where you take multiple channels. You can do it in delay. You can do it in equalization. You can do it in level control. You can do it in basically everything. And this is wonderful. And today we thought we'd take you through it both on this product and another so you can see it on both. And so you have to understand the scenario where this makes sense. Okay. So you're tuning a car. All right. And you have a 3-way set. So you have tweeter, mid-range, mid-bass, rear fill. You get into the car. Now you've tape measured everything and you've gone ahead and you've set everything up. But everything sounds like it's coming from on top of the gauge cluster as opposed to the center of the dash. So you go, well, that could be a problem. Okay. In most scenarios, what you're going to do is you're going to grab the tweeter and you're going to reduce the volume on the tweeter, grab the mid-range, reduce the volume on the mid-range, grab the mid-bass, reduce the volume on the mid-bass, and so on and so forth. And, you have to guess. So then you'll isolate. You'll play just the tweeters, you'll play just the mid-range, you'll play just the mid-bass. But if everything is solid right here above the gauge cluster, everything is there. The drum is there, the vocal is there, the tick is there. And you're like, man, this sucks. Well, there's a solution for that, and that's called group adjust. So we're here in the ARC Audio main level control panel, and we have our inputs, we have our outputs. So output tweeter for the driver's door, output mid-range for the driver's door, output mid-bass for the driver's door. We're going to make them all group 1 by simply selecting on it. All right, so they're group 1, and we will make passenger all group 2. All right. When I grab any slider that is associated with group 1, you'll see that 3 sliders are moving now. If I grab anything with group 2, 3 sliders are moving now. I don't want to just grab one side and turn it down, meaning I don't just come here and do this, because that doesn't always work. So if I'm removing energy from one side, the other side is staying the same. I want to use ARC Audio makes this piece here called Centerpoint, which does this all for you, but we're not going to talk about that in this. We're going to say, let's take this down 2-ish, and we'll go up with this 2-ish. So now I've removed, I've added. So I've basically done this, not just done this. All right. And now I can listen to it, replay it. And as I like to do it while it's just playing, so I can hear it and steer when I need to stop. So if I get like over almost to the center, then I'll add energy to the passenger side, and that will pull it over the rest of the way. Therefore, I'm doing equal adjustments on both sides. Now, that's wonderful if it's a level issue. But what if when Fernando was doing the adjustment for delay, I don't know, he was measuring to the wrong spot. And so it wasn't level. Like I did level and it still sounded funky. I can come over here to group, make that group 1, make that group 1, and make that group 1. And now I can adjust all 3 of those. Not only can I adjust all 3 of those, obviously they're not going to be in a line with one another because they're all different distances. So if I'm starting like this, actually probably be like this and look more like maybe like that. All right, come on. Okay. So now if I come in and I grab group 1 and I group 1, when I adjust it, they'll all stay in that same configuration, and now I can adjust those. So I can now do group delay adjust. All right, that's pretty cool. Crossover doesn't have it. However, crossover allows you to do link channels. So you just link the channels in the setup. Equalizer, what equalizer allows you to do is the same thing. So that means if I have driver's tweeter, I can grab passenger tweeter, and I can come over and I can, because typically what I'll do is I'll tune left, and I'll tune right, and I can come in and play the 2 together, look at an RTA, and I can make a universal adjustment here. All right, let's just do that, and then we'll turn this off, turn them both off, and we'll look at that tweeter. You can see the adjustment, and we'll shut that tweeter off. We'll look at this tweeter, and you can see the same adjustment. The nice thing is, if I have it and it looks like this, so they're obviously both going to be different, I can turn them both on. Now it's showing me the other tweeter because that was the closest. And I'm going to pull this all the way down, and it stopped. It won't go any further. That's because on this tweeter, it was already to the bottom, which you can see there. So now I can do equalization group adjustment, and I can select whatever group I want. So this is just tweeters. But if I want to do tweeter to mid-range, I can do that. If I want to do tweeter mid-range mid-bass on one side, if I want to select just the tweeter mid-range, so I can, this allows me to do pairs. So typically what I will do is I will do the passenger tweeter, driver's tweeter, look at the both of them, do any adjustments I need to do. Mid-range, look at the both. Then I'll add in the tweeter and look at both tweeter and mid-range, make any adjustments, and I'll follow suit, so forth for the mid-bass and so on. Ooh. And that allows me to speed up my workflow so that I can make quick adjustments. And hence the why you say speed up my workflow. I can speed up my workflow, get through it fast, make adjustments so I don't have to go individual things at one time. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Very cool.
And that is how to do group adjust and delay and equalization adjust in a group on the ARC Audio DSP. I don't know why I did that. I'm going to need it in a minute for the next one. If you're interested in learning more about ARC Audio, please head over to arcaudio.com. You can find all their DSP products, amplifiers, as well as standalone.
Same DSP for all the amplifiers?
Same DSP. You can download their DNA software and play with it at home.
I like that name, DNA.
Well, it's what it's made out of.
Yeah.
I'm sure they stayed up nights trying to figure that one out.
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
So
I think I need an OH alternator. Okay. Go ahead.
I think the rear coax might have a cap built in.
Yes, it does.
Would that cause that? Sounds like it's on all the speakers.
Probably not if it's sounding like it's in all the speakers. Typically, the only time you'll hear a cap is if it's just in the speakers that have the capacitor. And there again, like coaxials, the capacitor is typically on the tweeter. If it does have a cap on the mid bass, usually it's followed up by a coil, and the coil will negate the cap, so it'll charge into the coil, and you won't get the pop. Pardon me, most of the time. But yes, the coaxial is fine. That's not going to be causing a cap or a pop through the whole system. I would think that there's probably something else going on. There again, you can also try turning off the auto sense and going to 12 volt, taking a little jumper and going into the remote turn on. Yeah. And then just going and like making your own remote turn on just to do some testing. That way you can figure out if it's worth the effort to go find some form of an alternate turn on or off circuit. Yeah. Apart from the PAC-T harness help versus turn on. So the in the PAC harness, it's a constant 12 volts. It's not an accessory. So there's no like data bus turn on built into that. So yeah, I would just use it more for testing just to see if it is in fact something going on that way. And there again, you might want to see like if the amplifier, try to figure out what's going on as far as turning off issues. Leave the amp turned on, pull, like when you turn the key off, pull the thing off at the same time. See what happens.
It's just
have a buddy in the front seat and go 1, 2, 3. See if you don't get a pop. If you get a pop, that's a signal issue.
1, 2, 3.
That could suck so bad.
Yeah.
These are the things that keep us up at night, guys.
Right?
Yeah, it is. It sucks.
Okay.
All right. What else you got?
Give it to me, baby. Have you worked with the Museway DSPs?
I have not worked with the Museway DSP. However, Museway does use the same DSP software that about 80% of the industry uses. So, yes, it's a nice software. It's a little basic compared to what you just saw. But no, it's a nice software. I'm looking at it right here as we're talking.
Oh,
right. Yeah, because it's on this because I've played with the software before to figure out what it has. But when you start using a lot of softwares, then you kind of go, oh, hey, I've seen that before.
Thank you, Frank.
What do you got?
I got nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Must be vacation time after today. It totally is vacation time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait for vacation time. Front, rear. Let's change this to front. So we're on the same page. Okay. Right. Cool.
All right. So let's go with this one.
Audio control DSP 61200 could used a channel input for a microphone as RTA. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. No, it's a little bit different than that. So if you're looking for an inexpensive acoustical RTA, because the D61200 does have an electrical RTA built into it, so it's capable of seeing the signal that's coming over the speaker wires. It's limited on its functionality, but it's there. if you're looking for an inexpensive acoustical RTA so that you can then use the, tune it, as you say, I would look at, let's say, the Dayton Audio has a USB-C microphone. That's really nice. You can plug it in your iPad or Android device. But yeah. And then you can do that because I don't think the Studio 6s is available at the moment.
2024 Jeep Wrangler. Adding speakers, amplifiers, and subs. Best integration for it. DSR1?
Right now, there is no integration for that vehicle. It's not available yet.
Harness. There's
no harness. It's the same software. It's different harnesses. Harnesses for like an Amp Pro, they're telling me are a couple months away, and then we'll have the new Chrysler interfaces. So if you're looking to do a full upgrade on that, you're going to need a big DSP to fix it all, or you're just going to have to wait. And I don't know when iData is going to make their updated version so you could use a DSR1.
Right.
So personally, I would wait because those things suck. Should I go Zapco DSP amp or Audison DSP amp? Zapco has more channels and a bridgeable. Is Zapco a good company to have SQ amp?
Audison also has a bridgeable.
I was gonna say Audison is all bridgeable too.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I can only answer to what we're familiar with, and it's not that I'm extremely. Oh wait, I am pretty familiar with the Audison stuff. This is going to be going in Haley's car when we get back for some projects that we're going to be working on with Audison. This is the 4 to 10. They do make a 10 to 12 and a 12 to 20 or 24 or 12 to 24, 12 to 18 or
12 to.
I don't know. They got a lot of them.
Yes.
It is. So as far as variety goes, an in-house DSP. So I mean,
I have it.
You got to decide
with the Zapco. So
I mean,
yeah.
Nothing against Zapco.
No.
I know that software, and the conversation I'm having about that software, I'm not having with the Zapco software.
Have you had newer Bronco full size come into your shop with the fake sub and the amplifier?
Yeah.
Is the wires going into the high or low level, or is there nothing going on it?
It's funny you should say that because we didn't even bother to test it because who cares? The front speakers have the signal that we really needed. PAC makes a T harness that goes into it so that you can just plug it right in and call it a day. You have very minimal amount of work you have to do to get into it. If you're just adding a subwoofer, even on that one, we still tap the front speaker. Yeah, they still do because we get more sound out of the front for that. But yeah, it is kind of comical. Like it is funny. So for those of you guys who don't know what he's talking about, during COVID, they couldn't get parts for the amplifier or the magnets for the subwoofer. They could just get the enclosures and the metal pieces. So instead of throwing them away, because that would have cost more money, they just put all the fake stuff, so they put a heat sink with a PCB and ends, but no amplifier.
Nothing.
And an enclosure with a subwoofer that is basically a passive radiator. It was the funniest thing ever. And so everyone that's driving around thinks they have a sub, and they don't. But it was cheaper to do that than throw them away. And they didn't tell you they were going to replace them with working parts. They just, here you go. So that'll be a fun one in a couple of years.
Audio control EQ that I can control in my system. Alpine ILX 507.
Audio control doesn't make an EQ that you can control inside of your car. They don't make anything that has a full display. You could put the, ACBT 25?
24.
ACBT 24, which is their little Bluetooth dongle that they make. Possibly put an iPad or an iPhone or something like that inside of the car that you can control it from. If you're looking for full control of a DSP, you might want to check out Arc Audio. Their controller controls everything. So it's not just a push button turn. It actually has all the bands for the equalization.
I mean, even if you're just trying to do like a regular EQ, like one of those small
Well, no,
ones.
yeah, but they don't. There's
You
three
have,
bands.
and the 507 has 13 band EQ on the radio,
Right.
so
it's a better thing. But
yes,
you know, as far as like something that would plug into a 507, you'll use the screen. Ain't nothing like that.
you need a full,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of annoying.
It's kind of annoying. Where did you send any of the new kicker goodies? Warhorse 36.1, 1000.4, and the installation accessories.
So that's a tough one to answer because of when we previously talked about doing some stuff with them. Somebody from the Kicker fan club got all excited because they didn't get to talk about it first, and so we got a nasty email saying you can't talk about stuff.
You cannot talk about it.
No, so we can't talk about actually having any of the stuff because we didn't get any of the stuff that we get to talk about. So
no, we cannot talk about that stuff.
Somebody's feelings got hurt, so
you can confirm or deny.
Yeah, we don't have any of that. Sorry, didn't work out that way. 507 does have time alignment.
Yes. Yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. What are you saying?
Okay, so hold on.
The 507 cut settings.
Go into the internet browser. Type in micro bypass. Micro bypass. That's all you need to know. $20, all your prayers will be answered.
There's plenty
delivered
videos,
right to your house.
Plenty of videos on YouTube.
But yes,
TR7.
No, micro bypass. It's all you need to know. Problem will be solved. Piece of pie.
Piece.
Yeah, I like pie. Who doesn't like pie?
I don't.
You don't like pie? I think you're lying. You like pie.
I mean, I eat the pie, but I'm not like a. At the moment, nothing. We just have to wait.
We're working on a plan right now. We need to finish up making some phone calls. Like, we know what radio is going to go in it. We figured that out.
Yes.
We got the dash kit and the wine harness. So once we get back from vacation, that will probably move forward first. As far as speakers and stuff go, we're still trying to figure out what speakers we want. And we're debating back and forth on how we want to do that.
Yeah.
It's
because maybe we want some like bullet tweeters in the dash, 6.5 loudspeakers, and
hey guys,
215s.
It's getting deep in here. Yeah, it's definitely getting deep in here. It's that time of the show again for some of you that are coming in late to the game. It's DSP Quick Tips. And this time we're going to be talking about our good friends at Mosconi. The theme of the show tonight is talking about group delay and the ability to go in and do group adjust. Delay is one, level is the other, as well as equalization. So the reason why this exists is to make your life a lot easier. So for example, if you get a card done and the left side is off from the right side and you don't have a center image, but it's sounding perfect, and you just want to move all three speakers, either delay or volume, you can easily do it inside of the software. So let's take a look and see how that is achieved. Ooh, that was trippy. I'm going to move this down. Actually, that works. We'll put it over here. No, it's okay. It's okay because there'll be a logo. This is fine because everything we need is right here. And the Mosconi software, everything that you need is located right here on one page. You don't have to tab through anything. You'll see there's these cool Christmas colors along with these, yellow and blues. And down here on the bottom are corresponding things. Now, Mosconi has already divided this up for us so that A is left and B is right. What that means is I can come into milliseconds of delay. And if I do this, pardon me, if I do this, it will start to add milliseconds delay. Actually, let me turn off B. As you can see now, I'm just adjusting A. If I click off, turn on B, I'm now just adjusting B. And this is just for delay. So this allows us to go in and do all the speakers that we want at one time. It could be just the tweeters. It could be just the mids. It could be mid and the mid bass. So if something is working and A lot of the times it's the tweeter in the mid-range, but the mid-bass works fine, in which case all you have to do is come into here and turn it to a white box. Okay, that's why I love Windows, guys. And now the mid-bass won't be in that adjustment. I come back over here, I turn on A, I can make an adjustment there, and that will add delay to just those. Another is level control. This is my personal favorite. So when I'm adjusting for that, I want to bring all of the driver side speakers down lower to move the center stage over. Select A, turn that down, and that will move all of them down. If I come in here and I go, oh, wait a minute. Let me make these all white here. I can shut those off, and I can use. All right. So I have C as its own. I can come to here, and now I can turn up just that mid bass. So now I'm just steering the mid bass, only the mid bass, which is fun. So now I can adjust a group of speakers for delay, and I can adjust a group of speakers for volume. I don't just want to adjust one side, I want to adjust both sides. So if I'm reducing here, I want to gain here. So I don't want to take 8 dBs away from one side. I'd like to take 4 away and add 4 to the other. In this case, we'll come in and we'll add that 3.5 dBs that we took away. So that'll give us 7 dBs of adjustment. There you go, right? So that allowed me to easily adjust groups of speakers. Now, if we come over here into the equalizing pane, this is just going to be for front speakers only. This one is a little different than the previous software we looked at. If I adjust here, I can grab this frequency right here, and I can pull up and down, and they'll both move together. If I unlock all, now when I grab it, it'll just move that one side. So if I come in and I say, I'm going to do some quick little things. And we'll do something over here. Looks like this. All right, see that's both of my adjustments.
That's
now,
interesting.
And a lot of, I know, and a lot of DSP is an interesting tweeter. And a lot of DSPs, if I try to group them back together, it'll say pick left or pick right. I don't want to do that. So I can set
lock.
Oh no, cancel. I can lock them together simply by clicking on them individually. Or I can select lock all. So if I don't want to adjust other ones, and there again, if I look at this one and go, I don't want to adjust that one. Okay, now it will stay separated. But if I go up to the top, it won't go any farther. If I go down to the bottom, it won't go any further. So it'll only allow you to adjust in the group's amount that is left. Pretty cool. So now how you're going to use this is you're going to adjust this tweeter, that tweeter. You're going to group them back together, and then you're going to adjust the group. You do mid-range, mid-range. You'll adjust those together, and then you'll add in all, and then you can look at all the tweeters. You can have all the frequencies there to come in and start playing with it. So it makes adjustment a lot faster, a lot smoother, and it's really cool. A lot of the times when you don't have a DSP that does this and you sum the two back together and you see a high point that you want to remove, you have to go to that speaker and remove it, pull down, let's say 3 dB, go to the other speaker and pull down 3 dB. And so you're constantly flip-flopping back and forth between speakers. It takes a lot of time, and sometimes you get confused because you're like, did I click it 3 times? I counted 3 times. So you have to pay attention to what you're doing. It's really kind of no fun. This makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
Anyways, that has been
quick tips.
Hold on. That has been quick tips with the Mosconi software.
Yeah.
Okay. Pull it back up.
All right. No, I think Dean will help me.
I guess you're in...
like six and a half in each door, bullet tweeters, and
oh yeah, sure,
totally, right?
Yeah, somebody's got to do Yeah, 6.5.
6 and a
Not a
half.
snowball's chance in hell you would do that, dude. You gotta understand, he's more bougie than I am.
Oh.
I could do so. I've actually done something like that for myself. This guy would never do that. He's over there like, no, man.
I don't know.
He's
Is
like,
there-
I want Utopia 8s in my door.
Dude, that would be great.
It would be great.
Yes.
It would be great.
I mean, actually, he's thinking about the P60s, you know, see if it fits.
I know. I really want to see if the P60s will fit. Is there any problem using the
The magnetic
breakaway
breakaway USB cable for data transfer, like for Wire CarPlay or Android Auto. Have you seen them?
I'm just thinking, why would I know what it is? I mean,
Yeah.
Apple used to use MagSafe connectors on their laptops.
Right.
So,
right. I don't know if you connect
So this
all
is-
the time.
right. Well, this is
Yes.
a MagSafe.
Yes.
This is a
Yes.
MagSafe connector. But the reality is, why would you bother? Just buy a wireless unit.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, just
But what
get-
happens if you don't have a wireless unit?
buy a RVD streamer.
Yeah, but the RTV streamer is more than $30 for the cable, or
It's not that much more. Either way, I
mean,
buy a
the,
streamer.
the cable is not $300.
Look, man, it's just you're asking the question. I'm throwing it in there. What foam do you? Oh my God, what foam do you use for door card and
Fast
our
rings.
fast rings opened or closed
Closed
cell foam? For the door card itself, we like to use, most of the time we're using the Stinger Roadkill.
Ultimate.
Yeah, so it's butyl metal foam. We also use the Ground Zero kit, which comes with the egg crate foam, which is really nice. You just have to be careful because it doesn't stick to itself. It'll decouple from itself if you accidentally overlap a piece, so don't overlap any of it. As far as the fast rings go, the conventional fast ring is an open cell foam that, it's funny because everyone goes, oh, it's open cell, it's going to soak up like a sponge. No, it doesn't soak up like a sponge because water doesn't come in your car like a faucet. So it just beads off of it. We've done plenty of testing on it. Yes, if you take it and you put it underneath a faucet and hold it there,
Yeah, of course.
then it's going to soak through like any sponge would, but your car isn't built like that. You don't have a constant stream of water. Water actually, when it comes in through, if it comes in through the window, it splashes and it's dripping. It's not a constant Niagara Falls coming through the car.
Stop.
So you don't have to worry about that. However, if you're one of those guys that are like, no, there is now some closed cell foam. There's strips that Sound Shield makes, Morel also has, that are just, we don't have
we don't have
them.
it.
Yeah, we use them up.
Yeah.
That you can do that are closed cell foam.
Yeah.
They'll go around the inside, outside, wherever you want to put it.
Inside and outside.
And then if you want like the ultimate inside of the door panel, you have Black Hole Tile from Black Hole.
Black hole.
And they are a square, like a 2 by
It's a
3
tile.
inch tile that is treated with a water barrier paint, and you just peel it off and you stick it in, and it absorbs all of the sound. It's squishy. It feels weird, but it's like a rubberized outer coating that it has on it. That's really nice. So you can get them for water, and you can get them for inside the car where it's not going to get wet.
Yeah.
And those are pretty awesome. Full color audio control, add next. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to put that up.
There
Right.
you
Good
go,
call.
man.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
man, Fang of Truth, bro. He's on it. Excuse me. That was supposed to go up after we talked about the Morel DSP. So if you want to know more,
Mosconi DSP, man.
yeah, Morel doesn't have a DSP. Why did you say Morel DSP?
It's okay. You know, he's not. He's here, but he's not here anymore.
No, because I'm trying
He's
to.
out.
So
He's like-
I'm okay. So in my head, I'm going. Okay, once the show ends, we got to grab the camera
I
gear.
know.
I have to get the stuff out of my backpack.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
know, I have to make sure everything's locked and turned off. And do we, is there anything we don't want to forget anything because I don't want to come back here tonight at 11 o'clock.
correct.
Yeah.
There you go.
What is that? I use the Metro Silicone baffle along with my Ground Zero
Door Kit Pro. Perfect. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, the
Another
silicone
Gucci
baffle.
guy.
That's another one I always forget about. Is the Metro silicone baffle is
Yeah.
really nice. If you're looking for the ultimate, like I don't want any water to get to the front of my speaker, there's a silicone. So,
Yeah.
and it's like a suction. It's like a big suction cup. So it just like it won't roll like the problem you have with some of like the fast rings. If they're too tall, you don't trim them, they'll roll in and crush the speaker, and you'll damage your speaker that way.
What's up,
so you always
David?
have to keep an eye on that because they don't. A lot of people think a fast ring because it's foam, it's going to compress, but it's a tall-walled open cell foam, so it's not going to compress. It's going to roll, and it rolls into the speaker and will damage the speaker.
How roll can you go?
You don't want to roll. No rolling. You don't want to Limp Biscuit this thing.
I need an amp for a subwoofer. Do I go with the match RMS power or like 100% larger amplifier?
So that's kind of the problem when you're looking at amplifiers and subwoofers. So you'll have a subwoofer that says it's 300 watt subwoofer with a 600 watt peak. All right. And that's pretty normal. So like, I don't know why they magically double the power. Like, I guess in some situations, it will handle double the amount of heat to the voice coil and the magnet, which is essentially what that is. It's just heat. If you have two of them and you bought a 600 watt amplifier, more than likely, if it's a good 600 watt amplifier, it's probably going to put out 700 watts. So you'll have 100 watts more power than the subwoofers are technically rated for. And there again, that's only for when you're playing it full blast, meaning all the way up in a perfect world. So you have the gain set right, you're listening to your music, and you're just like, driving it. Because, at normal listening levels, subwoofers don't care how much, you're not going to blow them because you're not going to blow a woofer with 15 watts of power or 100 watts of power.
You don't care?
You're just not going to. So now if you have 300 watt woofers, you go out and you buy a 1,000 watt amp, that's when you really start, it's 500 watts of woofer. So you're under their RMS rating, which is 600 watts, but their normal rating is 300 watts. So that's when you could run into a problem, especially if you decide you're like, I need to set it to negative 10 dBs of overlap. I got to get all my watts out of these.
All of them.
All of the watts. This was a real problem with Alpine. Years ago, when they had their R-type woofers, they would say RMS 1,000 watts. Power handling on them was 500 watts. Well, they made a 1,000 watt amp. So everyone that wanted 112 would go out and buy the 1,000 watt amplifier, thinking it was a match made in heaven. Well, it's not a 1,000 watt amplifier. It's like 1,100 watt amplifier, but that speaker still only handles 500 watts. So you would put 500. You'd put
1,000 watts and a 500 watt subwoofer.
Guess what would happen?
And then you turn the gain all the way up, bro.
Dude, you turn the gain all the way down. It's not going to matter. You know how sensitive the gain is on an Alpine. So, yeah, essentially what you'd run into is these guys would just launch these subwoofers into the stratosphere. And it'd be like, why are they buying them? Like,
Happy 4th of July.
So, they'd come to us after the fact, because they were getting them off of the internet.
Come on, man.
And we'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
Which is probably what it was.
I know. I was just matching numbers, bro.
It is required to use LGDs if you're using a key lock or a key amp in a 2021 F-150. Yes.
Yeah. So none of those have adequate load resistance in them for 2021 F-150. Kicker does make the Kiss load.
Yep.
So if you want to follow Kicker along, like you don't have to use LEDs. Kicker makes a compatible product also that you could use. So yeah, that's cool. It looks like it comes in a 2-channel or 4-channel application. So either one of those, that would work as well. But yes, you need LGDs.
Yes, sir.
It's probably not a good idea to drinking all this stuff while trying to do a show. Yeah, a lot of sugar, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, dude.
Well, it's going to be, I mean, that's more sugar than this.
Well,
it's
the same.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Lots of it.
71 grams. 72. Boom.
No, 71. Total sugar, 71. Where are you looking?
Right there.
Yeah, they're both the same.
Okay, so see?
Yeah. All right. Well, we're
All
both
right.
screwed. That's a lot of sugar. Damn.
Is the JBL DSP amp enough power, in your opinion, for or at 4 times 8 channels? 40 times 8 channels.
Do I feel like it's enough channel or enough power? It depends what you're trying to do with it, right? Isn't that always the case? So, I mean, it's a small DSP. If you have some highly efficient speakers and you hook them up to it, it's going to sound fantastic. We've done it. It works. It sounds good. If you're trying to be the loudest guy on the block, then no. Or if you buy, let's say, somewhere else, no, it's not going to work. It's not going to be enough power. In my Camaro, when I had that, I had the equivalent to that, but made by Alpine. Alpine made the 850S, they made the 850X, and it was 25 by 8. And it was plenty for what I was trying to do with the car. It sounded great. It did exactly what I wanted, and it was loud, and it sounded wonderful. Was everybody going to like that? No, but I did. So I don't know. This is one of those questions where it's really hard to answer.
Why?
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, it's a soda. Sodas suck. I mean, there's nothing healthy. It's like,
dude,
I love it. I like drinking.
Total carbs are 0%. Just kidding.
No, that's protein. Listen, you know, this is the one soda I gotta have this month.
To make myself feel better.
Yeah. 2024 Acura RDX with 10-speaker ELS. If I want to keep the ELS mixing, which you do, where I just swap out speakers and amplify the outputs of the factory amplifier. Yes and no. You still want a DSP. You still want a DSP for the equalization. So what you want to do is count channels, find out how many channels you have and what they're doing. That's another thing too, is find out what the channels are doing. By that, I mean, you may have a mid-range channel that is the mid-range and the tweeter, meaning they share a channel.
Attach, yeah.
So you want to make sure that you have to figure out, okay, channel 1 goes to just the tweeters, or channel 1 goes to mid-range and tweeters. So you need to know this. So when you're buying speakers, you take that into consideration. That's not to say that you can't go active with them on an amplifier. You totally can, because obviously if they can play both, then you can separate them apart to play each. The reason why you want a DSP, though, is for one, crossovers, because depending on what speakers you get, they may have different crossover requirements than the current ELS system has. And two, if you don't get a DSP, you'll have no way to change the tonality of the speakers that you're putting in to sound like the speakers you're putting in and not like the crappy speakers you took out, okay? So there is going to be equalization done in the system to fix or help compensate for any problems they ran into while putting those speakers in. Your new speakers aren't necessarily going to have those same problems. So having some form of equalizer to go in and either repair it or make it better, it's going to be a problem for you. So I would look at something like, if it has 10 channel or 10 speakers, how many channels does it have? And then look at something like an amplifier that can go into that. So both Helix and Audison make these really nice multi-channel DSP amplifiers. So some of them have 12 channels, which is cool, and an output for a subwoofer. You want to look at the inputs also. The inputs are important. I think right now the most inputs on an amplifier still goes to Helix. Audison limits, but they do have a 4-port expansion. So I think you can get up to 12 on an Audison if you buy their expansion card, which goes into the side of the amplifier, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. Afternoon.
What up, Greg?
Yeah, it is. Hey guys, have you heard of audio control? I know some of you have. Ooh, we were just talking to somebody yesterday about some of the new products that are coming around the corner for audio control. Ooh, I can't wait to show you guys some of the stuff they got coming out. You're gonna be so excited. Yeah, but for right now, we were talking about efficient speakers that sound really good just a couple seconds ago. You might want to check out the audio control. That's right. The PNW speakers are efficient. They have a little bit lower ohm load so that they do a lot more with a little less. So something like the Helix amplifier that we were just talking about, which you can't bridge, but you can run at 2 ohms. You can run something like a PNW speaker on it, get a little bit more power out of it than you would at a 4 ohm load. It's pretty awesome. So head over to audiocontrol.com and check out and see if they have something that will fit your need.
Dean, do you remember
VATs and 5-wire? Yes, of course.
Yeah?
Yes.
You guys are old.
Well, 5-wire is the relay.
Yeah.
That was the relay challenge that they were doing.
Did, yes.
That DAS was doing at the show.
Yeah.
That Hungerford, Mike, Cartel got. So there's the 4 guys that went the fastest.
Yeah.
And Mike did the slowest, and I gave him shit when they were up on stage. Yeah. I was like, bro, you didn't even finish. Like, all these other guys still finished. You just walked away, you quitter. Yeah. So
I don't care. I got my
he got his drill.
My drill. That's got, to be honest, that was worth it. Yeah.
So the bad part is when I go home, depending on how it goes, Haley will be like, did you have a soda at work?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she'll know. She'll be like, did you drink something with sugar? I'll be like, no, yes. She'll be like, emotional damage. It's always emotional damage.
From Arizona.
Just wondering if you guys have done anything with the new Alfa Romero. No. No, I was actually just talking to somebody about one of those the other day. Yeah. I was like, I'll give you a number of somebody else. I don't want to work on it. No. 2021 Bronco with B&O. When is the Maestro A to B coming out, or do you prefer the pack module? So soon, you just saw the video we put out on it that talks about all the cool things that it's going to have and do and how nice it's going to look. I sent that one off to a friend of mine to do some more testing on it because they do a lot of those things and they wanted to know how good they sound. So I'm waiting to hear back from him on that. But supposedly they're almost here. So it was just a matter of Chinese New Year before or after, and then them coming to Canada for final touchy-feely, and then off we go.
Look who he is.
What's up, guys?
What up, Mark?
What's happening? Oh, is that Mark?
That's Mark.
Yeah.
What do you call him? Predator. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
God, I haven't seen him in a while, man.
I know.
I was hoping he would have come to Atlantic City because he's up there by that.
Oh, that's good. Why you didn't come, bro?
Oh, it's the same reason nobody else came. I mean, they told me it was sugar-free.
That's a good one.
Yeah. They know better, man. They know better. They know I'm not drinking that sugar-free crap. Working on LC5 1300 as we speak.
Oh,
very nice.
There you go.
Does a Rockford amplified subwoofer sound good with the Alpine
Type X
X6 and
6.5 components?
Listen, the Rockford amplified subwoofer sounds good with everything. Like it's that one product, bro. So one product. I mean, if we sold nothing else, we would still have to sell those.
Yeah.
I was going to go just get crazy busy. I understand, man. Good talking to you.
Totally.
I totally understand. Hi. Is it better for imaging to mount in the sail panel for a more width or a panel for more depth? I was thinking about this question because I know you asked it the other day, and I said ask us next week. Clearly, it's not next week. And I was thinking about some of the situations like that we've ran into. Mm-hmm. You know, just okay. First off, is it better for imaging? I've always thought in my mind that when we can get the tweeters up as far forward, it has always sounded better than when they are closer to us. So even the difference between the sail panel and the A pillar has always sound different. You know, I've always felt that the A pillar has a much better sound. Debatable. Some guys will say no. Some guys will say yes. But I've always felt like when the tweeters are up further, it just sounds better. That's my thought and the experience that I've had setting up a car. When they're like in the Explorers, when they're forward or any other car, it sounds terrible. It sounds it's like how do I get my seat back further? Yeah. So, you know, I've always just working in the cars that we work on, anytime we can get the speakers as far forward as possible, for some reason that sounds the best, especially if that's where your main source of sound is coming from. So like in a in a component where there's just a mid-range and tweeter and a mid-bass, definitely getting that tweeter forward does sound better. You know, Ford now has them like this, and I thought they sounded better up at the front. I really did. But in the BO system, they put the mid-range up in the front, and that fixes the problem for us because now we have most of that sound coming from as far away in the car as we possibly can, making it sound like a bigger stage. But on the flip side of that, like the FJ that we sat and listened to, that guy's FJ,
Dude,
and he had these giant monitor
6.5.
It was literally just a monitor, like a monitor for like recording monitor, that was just 6.5
on the A-pillar.
On the, right, yeah, there. It was the dumbest thing ever. Like, it sounded fantastic, but if you remember, he basically had us sitting all the way back. Like, you're sitting as far back in the truck as possible.
Yes.
So that's not even drivable at that point, because you're not driving like that. You're
No.
gonna drive that you're gonna drive. So that would be weird to me. I think if we were sitting in a normal seat, that might change. And we deal in people that drive their cars, not just sit in parking lots and go.
No, but like, hey, Thomas, if you want to ask this question again, hopefully you can pop on Instagram next week, to see what's going on. We have a better, different opinion.
Well, no, we'll get his opinion on it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Different opinion.
Yeah.
So
and don't be sorry.
No.
Don't be sorry. It's the sugar talking, man. It's just the sugar talking. It's okay. But I want you to know, Thomas, I've been thinking about this question because
it's great.
It is a good question, and it made 100%. Me after I had read it, I was like, well, I have an opinion on this because I feel like everything that we've done, what I've described, it sounds better.
But that's why, like, Rockford put these on off-axis and on-axis
selector
on the tweeters, like Bowser's.
Yeah.
Rockford does that.
Yeah.
On-axis and off-axis.
Yeah.
So what sounds better depends off
the situation. I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it always. Hold on.
On-axis.
Wife just came into the man cave with a plate of crickets. She's from Thailand and they eat bugs. No thanks, none for me. I mean, I'm with you, Ken. We're eye to eye on that one.
I eat them before, man. So.
Crickets?
Yes.
Of course you have. I don't know why. I don't want any crickets.
That's what Nalika likes. She's like, come on, man, let's go eat this.
Oh yeah, Nalika's crazy like that, man. Hey, I bought these toad livers. Let's go. These are fantastic. No, they aren't. No, they aren't.
I remember Haley just looking at the menu. He's like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. And then there was like, we have Spam. I'll take that. Spam and eggs all day long. For center speaker, is coaxial better or a wideband? Listen, on this one, if you can put a coaxial, you put a coaxial. Hands down. Widebands, I'm not in that camp, man. I don't believe in them. I don't like them. I haven't heard any that have just blown my mind. No.
Why you put the wideband Plaza tweeter?
Yeah.
That's just that.
And cross it over. But no, if you can fit a coaxial, totally do a coaxial. Widebands suck. I mean, they're okay, but they suck.
No, don't start.
Yeah, I'm not. They suck. Hello from the North Pacific. What is up?
What up? Anyways,
bioengineering. Yeah, try not to think about that. Right? There's just certain things we shouldn't waste our time on. Let's just go with that. All right, guys.
What do you think about Kicker Comp RTs?
I love them. They're my favorite. I love that box.
RT.
Yeah.
Downfiring box.
Yeah. Well, actually, Kicker has that box already made now.
And I think that's probably what he's talking about.
Well, no, I think because the Kicker box has the L7Ts in it. So Kicker makes a F-150 box already done with L7Ts in it, which is fantastic.
Sounds great.
But to answer your question, yes, the Comp RT is actually my favorite downfiring subwoofer for pretty much everyday use.
Mm-hmm.
We sell a ton of them just for that.
Yes.
Just if you want to do real quick, if you want to do a normal subwoofer in an F-150, check out Fox Acoustics. Fox Acoustics, you can fit a normal size woofer in an F-150. We typically put an Alpine R-Type. You could put a Comp CVT or no CV. No Comp R. Comp R, just a Comp R. You can put a regular Comp R. You can put a Rockford P3. But the Fox Acoustics boxes are built differently to fit. They have like space.
Yeah,
it's not the final frontier. Yes, definitely order your RTA. We'll talk more about that next week.
Yeah, because it's going to be Christmas in July.
Yes.
So
Christmas in July is going to start next week. So if you're on the fence on whether you want an IRTA too next week.
If you're in the fence, go to the website, click on the IRTA to
Watch
watch the videos so you can understand what this amazing tool does. Is the one and only 2-channel RTA electrical that is going to change your life, believe me. So go to the website, order yours before they all gone.
Definitely.
And happy 4th of July to everyone.
Yes, happy 4th of July. It was great. Thank you for coming in early and watching this video with us. Obviously, as you know, we'll be out of town.
Did you watch a video?
Yeah, they just watched the video.
Oh.
I mean,
With
whatever,
us.
live show, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, thanks for playing along with us tonight. We'll just say that. We're going to get out of here. We're going to catch a big old jet airplane and fly to someplace. We will be functioning, like we'll come out and let you guys know where we're at next week. As far as the plans go right now, we're scheduled to do a Monday show. Like supposedly we're going to have a Monday show.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. I don't know what time we're going to have the Monday show. Okay, so just kind of pay attention to the feed as far as when that's going to happen. It might be later or earlier, depending on
what's going on
in our world.
Yeah.
It'll probably be later. But anyway, so there will be something going on. Definitely check out Instagram, at least for the first part of the week. We'll let you know what's happening in the world. We got a lot of fun scheduled for us next week.
Yeah.
And if we can take you along for the ride, we plan on it. So we want you guys to have fun. If you don't hear from us, that means everything went sideways. And
but we enjoyed it.
We're still having fun. We're
Yes.
just not taking you along for the ride. So
That's it.
it happens. It's us.
I mean,
But
we might record some little things in there.
I'm not promising shit.
Perfect. See? Perfect. That is amazing.
I'm not promising nothing other than, as far as I know,
Yes.
we're going to be doing a Monday show. Outside of that, I got nothing.
All right, guys. Thank
it
you
won't
so
be
much for
normal.
watching.
So you guys have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.